If you're struggling with frizzy curls, this Define Curls routine will smooth them all out. But first, we have to start on wash day. So this is a wet plop out of the shower, conditioner rinsed out. If you want to put in a leave-in or a curl cream, I added rocking ringlets today because it helps just make my loose wavy curls a little bit curlier. So I do love that as my base layer product. Next up, I'm going to use a gel. So after just some super easy sectioning, no added tools here. I'm just using my hands to just take a rough section, starting at the bottom, and I use a pea-sized amount of gel per section of hair, but this is the smoothing process that really helps to calm down that frizz. So you can see we're not flipping over, we're not scrunching the product in, we are smoothing the product in to really lay down that cuticle of the hair, help it to absorb the water, and then the gel is going to help seal in that moisture. And I do need to mention that the Curl Talk gel that I'm using is a medium hold gel, and I want a little bit of a stronger hold. So since it isn't a strong hold gel, I'm going to add an optional layer of mousse over the top of this gel. And that's just gonna give my curls extra protection from the weather or just movement from my clothes, since I do have long hair. And that is just going to help my curls remain intact until the next wash day. Another option would be to use a hairspray over the top of that wet gel before drying your hair, because that can also help prevent frizz or curls from separating, really giving it that extra layer of protection against the weather, wind, humidity, all of that too. So here you can see I just use my fingers to take down another section of hair, and again, just this smoothing, raking technique where I'm really pressing the gel into the hair strands, and I'm really feeling to make sure that all of the hair is coated from root to tip. Be sure to give the ends of your hair and a little extra attention there. Definitely make sure that you feel that it is covered with the gel or with the mousse in order to protect those ends from getting overly dried out. Here is just a little bit more of a close-up where you can see I'm just sort of carving away little by little to bring some of that hair down and taking these small sections to apply the gel. This is really the best way to make sure that no curl is left behind, that all of the curl families will get that same love and attention, that they're all wet when the product is applied. Here again, you can see how when I'm adding the extra layer of mousse, it's really hard to apply mousse because it's just a big clump of foam. So a great way to distribute it is just to do this, I don't want to say scrunch because it's really one scrunch and then a hold to spread out that foam, that mousse throughout all of the hair strands. So you don't want to scrunch up and down with too many movements because that actually breaks up the curl families and that will cause frizz. So with this smoothing technique and just holding the hair, this is what's going to help create that smooth curl with more definition, whether you have very curly hair or loose wavy curls like mine. It works either way. And here you can see as I'm getting closer to the top of my head, I'll link another video here for different ways that you can play with the parting style, whether you like a diagonal part, a center part, that that middle part trend, whether that works for you or not. I tend to think that I look better with a side part, so I like playing with diagonals or zigzag type of sectioning, or my favorite of all is what I call the ladder part. So you'll see that's me taking horizontal sections across the top of my head so that you really can't see a part line. It allows me to do a bunch of different types of hairstyles throughout the week if I want to, because it's not set going in one direction or another. So here is where you can see the horizontal part where it's just going straight across the top of my head. So not going down for that middle part, but really just straight across. And these can be completely straight across. They can be a little bit of a diagonal. Just go ahead and play with it to see what works best with your face shape, with your head shape, with the dimension of your hair. It's really fun to just find out what works best for you and to own your own signature look. Now you can see I have very long hair, so it is difficult to see what's going on. And so I showed some different options with upright styling. And then here I just showed a little bit of how you can angle your head to one side to be able to apply product, or you can bring it forward if that's easier for you. But either way, I wanted to be able to show some different options of how you can easily apply product, but in different sections so that you can give each little curl family their own attention. After this final mousse application, I highly recommend diffusing your hair. If you're worried about frizz, hover diffusing is the way to go. Air drying can cause more frizz because it takes so many hours that there's so much opportunity for something to disrupt your curls throughout that time period, whether it's the weather, your movement, walking around, friction on your clothes, all of that. So diffusing, hover diffusing will set your curls as close to how you styled them to remain intact. Now here I have not scrunched out the crunch. This is how my hair looks right after I've diffused it, and you can see the amount of shine, the amount of bounce, and that is just from these products alone. So I've used the rocking ringlets as my base layer just to give my curl a little bit more curl. Then I use the Curl Talk gel and mousse, and then over the top I love using a hairspray for those salon quality curls that last for days. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.